Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you 4 lessons to completely rewire your identity and help you step into that higher consciousness, because these are the biggest lessons I've learned in my inner work journey the last year that has truly gonna help you step into a higher consciousness. You're gonna feel so powerful, like you have this whole new mindset and this whole new world view that makes you unbothered, untriggered, but yet still open-hearted. Doing these 4 things, this is truly where identity shifts happen and quantum jumps happen. This is where your manifestations just happen, because you are just that elevated now. Getting straight into it, the first one is going to be to release control of life and focus on just existing. The biggest mistake that I ever made was actually getting way too attached to manifestation, and that is the reason why I don't make manifestation content specifically anymore. Because when you get too attached to something, you end up consuming that content all the time, and even for entertainment purposes. So when you think you're learning with you, it's just a form of spiritually bypassing. And I've actually manifested way more things in the last few months after getting out of manifestation and just literally focusing on existing and not on controlling the direction of my life or how or when things are going to happen. Effortless elevation in manifestation and identity shifting comes in the quiet and the slowing down of life, because that is when you actually receive all of the answers that your intuition, your body, the universe, whoever was trying to tell you all along, but you just couldn't hear it throughout all the noise. So by being way too attached to a specific transformation, a specific goal or manifestation, you're actually repelling it way too much. And the biggest way to know this is if you're consuming content on this exact topic all day, every day, and you're not actually implementing anything from that content. You're just watching it for the fun of it, thinking you're learning, but really you're just being lazy. It's a form of spiritual bypassing. And the second I realised this was the second that I began to actually truly elevate and enjoy life way more and get more even into my feminine energy. I experienced way less stress, way less anxiety as well. Everything happens naturally when you release such a tight grip of life. Number 2 is to remain unbothered and untriggered with everything. In essence, everyone is in their own little world. Everyone is in their own little bubble where they are the main character, and most of the times people are in their ego, which means that they are wondering how other people are perceiving them. They are not worried about what you are doing. You are just a character in their story. They're always wondering about themselves the same way you're always worried about yourself and what other people are thinking of you. Everyone else is in the same situation, and on a deep level, everyone just wants to be loved. And if they are acting in a way that is undesirable, it is because they're reacting out of emotion and not out of logic. Not out of their heart, not out of their true self, out of their soul or their intuition. They're acting out of emotions. And a lot of people haven't actually controlled their emotions. And so therefore, it's actually nothing to do with you. It's everything to do with them. And the second we realise that we can be unbothered and also accept someone for who they are is the second that we will elevate into that higher consciousness. And that is when we will be truly identity shifting. When we not only detach from life itself, like in number 1, and our goals and our manifestations, and we begin existing. And then also when we begin to realise that everyone is just who they are and you are a character in their story, you will remain unbothered and detached from any situation and any way that people treat you or anything that goes on in the world. And that brings me on to number 3, which is actually to remain open-hearted and accepting of everyone no matter what. Again, everyone is in their own little world. And so therefore, when you learn to detach yourself from life itself, but from also other people, you will begin to understand that they are acting in their best interests with the best knowledge that they have learned in their life based off of their experiences that they have experienced in their life. They are acting based off what they desire and what they think is right. If you go and tell someone you are behaving badly, they will immediately tell you all the reasons why they are not behaving badly at all. And that is because they are genuinely behaving in a way that they believe is to be true and that is right, that is in alignment with their needs and desires. And so when you can appear in someone's life in a truly detached, accepting way of who they are, not only are you going to be the most magnetic person in a room, but also it's not about pleasing other people. It's about pleasing yourself and putting yourself first and not allowing other people's energy to get attached to your energy. It's about not allowing other people's emotions to become your emotions because you have been too openly available to their emotions. You've allowed people to dump on you. You've allowed people to behave in ways that affect you, in an essence, without the detachment and without realizing that they are just behaving in this way because this is who they are. Which brings me into the second point of this, because you're probably thinking, well, how do I deal with someone when I'm always attached to how they react and how I always take on emotions? Because this is something I'm dealing with too. I am very easily attached by other people, not attached, but bothered by other people sometimes, especially someone that I love. There is definitely a soft spot there. And so something that I'm personally dealing with is, again, the same issue of trying to remain detached from how someone reacts because it's the way that they want to believe. And especially when a lot of people are determined to misunderstand you. You are just a character again in their story. They have decided your character. They have decided your timeline. They have decided who they wish for your character to be and play out in their lives. And sometimes they have decided for you to be a certain character and it's not the good character. So you have to be okay with being the bad guy in someone's story, essentially, even if you mean well. Energetic boundaries is going to be the way that you place that boundary between you and someone else when you are easily affected by other people. It's not about constantly making yourself available for other people's emotions, no matter what, just because you want to be a good friend or a good family member. It's about giving yourself that energetic space so that you don't get affected by them all the time. For example, if you have a family member that is always very triggered, I have a family member that's like this, always very triggered, thinks that the world revolves around them, is always asking other people for favours, but simultaneously bends over backwards for everyone else, to be accepted, to be liked, but also to use it against them so that they can then have something and say, well, I did this for you later on. If you have someone like this in your family and you are affected by them because you're literally getting wound up in their life, in their needs, in their troubles, you place energy between you and them to a point where you can accept them for who they are. So if you're getting bothered by someone, you're too close to them energetically. You're spending too much time with them. So you need to be placing that boundary, that space, physical and energetic space between you and the other person to a point where you are no longer affected by them because they have free will to behave how they want to behave. You have free will to behave how you want to behave. Again, there's no right or wrong. Who are you to say they are wrong when their consciousness believes they are right? Who's to say you're right just because you believe that you're right? There's no right or wrong. You have to give people free will. You can't come up to someone and start controlling them because that is, again, not releasing control of life. We release control of life. We allow any behaviour. If someone wants to walk out, you can't control them. If someone wants to freak out on you thinking you're wrong, you can't control that. But if someone is being that way, the only thing you can control is the space that you give and put between you and the other person. If you're always being affected by them, it means you literally have no boundaries. If you're being affected by them all the time and you're letting them badmouth you, it's because you are not removing yourself from a situation as it occurs, as it folds out. You have not removed yourself the second that you can feel yourself being triggered, in which case, again, you need to work on your own emotional intelligence, because if you can't feel yourself being triggered by another person or recognize that they are now being triggered and this is the time to leave the room, Again, all things to be working on. So remaining open-hearted and accepting of someone no matter what, through this is how I remain open-hearted and accepting this method. The energetic boundaries. You can love someone and accept them, okay? No matter who they are or how bad they are, right? I'm not saying you should, but this is mainly for family members because I don't really surround myself with many outside world peoples anyways. Literally anyone that you meet, face-to-face value, the second you can accept them and like them for who they are, authentically them, people are going to flourish in your company, and you're also going to free yourself up from a lot of overthinking of like who they are, whether they're good for you, what they're thinking of you, what you think of them, and like, are they a good person, are they a bad person? Like, it doesn't matter. Just accept them for who they are. You will be in a much higher state of consciousness, and you will also be very much so at peace and give your nervous system a break from all the overthinking and controlling. And then the last one is going to be to protect your energy always. Guys, when you learn to protect your energy always is when you will have the most energy to create your dream life, to fulfill your passions, to create and think of ideas and think of new things you want to do, your hobbies, to focus on yourself. The more energy you preserve for yourself, the more you have to create your dream life. When you get home exhausted and you immediately doom scroll or watch Netflix all night, you're avoiding pushing off everyone else's energy at the end of the day and pouring back into your own cup. You're avoiding that discomfort. You're avoiding that work that needs to be done. Like an energetic detox needs to be done. You're avoiding preventing it from happening again, and you're avoiding preventing it from simmering in your body. So learning to protect your energy is gonna be usually, I'm gonna make a whole video on this, probably my next video. But when you protect your energy, you don't let, again, anyone else bother you. You don't let anyone else affect you. You're going to want to start by spending a morning, in the morning times, pouring into you. You're going to be doing something what I call putting on your energy. When you put on your energy and you form this energetic imaginary bubble around yourself, you begin to, like when you've spent this time with yourself in the morning and you've just focused on your own thoughts, your own energy, you can detach from the world in every way possible. When you're in your bubble, you are almost seeing the world from a bird's eye view of like, everything is just happening and I'm just another piece of the puzzle. I'm just another character on the board. Nothing matters. Nothing matters. Everyone is in their own world. I'm in my own world. What can I control and what can't I control? What can I control? I will remain in control of. And what I can't control, I am completely detached of, because this energetic space I've put between me and the other person through my bubble, it means that now I can just observe the world playing out without making it about me. And again, you want to be doing this in the morning, putting your energy on, spending that time with yourself. Don't wake up and doom scroll the first thing you do when you wake up. Not because of the productivity stuff and the discipline and all that business, but because you're listening to someone else first thing in the morning rather than your own thoughts. How do you know that your decision for what you choose to buy later on or what you have for tea isn't because you've just seen someone doing the exact same thing on social media earlier on today? How do you know that the reason why you are now triggered because you have just watched some sort of sad or angry story that's going trending viral on TikTok? You are literally absorbing everyone else's energy in the morning if you immediately interact with other people. For instance, if you literally roll out of bed and go to work, or if you interact with the world through social media, you're also absorbing everyone else's energy, absorbing everyone else's thoughts and beliefs and opinions, and you're making no room for your own, or even to realize what your opinion is. Because guys, scrolling and watching YouTube all day and Netflix all day is so many opinions that we literally cannot digest them all. You can't sort through them, true, false, what I believe, what I don't believe, fast enough before you come across another one. So where do they all go? They all just go blump into your mind, maybe even into your subconscious mind if you hear it that often, and it becomes your opinion. You are literally letting the world rewire your brain. Like, they're all affirmations. Everything everyone says is an affirmation going in your brain, which is why people say, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Because what your friends say, do and believe will become what you say, do and believe. Likewise, if they're hanging around with you, and for instance, maybe they're absorbing all your energy, their future will be bright because they're absorbing all of your energy. So where are you putting your energy in that case? Who are you letting reprogram your subconscious mind? Who are you letting rewire your future dream life? Protect your energy always, and always get into your bubble. And again, I'll make a whole entire video on this one because it's so important. So these are your life lessons for today to rewire your mind and step into the new consciousness. You're going to literally quantum jump into a higher identity. You're going to have a much better life when you do these things. So number 1 is going to be releasing control of life and just existing. Let go of the goals. Just have them floating around, right? Maybe you could have it as your wallpaper. Or maybe you just have a vision board existing in your life. You're not literally controlling every single thing that goes on in your life, because fear, if you're scared of things not working out, you will be too attached to it. If you're doubting, oh my God, what if this thing doesn't happen? Like, what if I don't get this house, for example? What if I don't get this career? Then you're already in scarcity and you're already too attached. Release control. Scrap all of the strictness and the rigidness of your life and just let go a little bit. Focus on existing. Just cook yourself some food, like do some slow yoga, or just go for a walk more often, or have some more meaningful connections and going out with your friends rather than watching Netflix together or watching a movie together or scrolling on your phone together at a cafe or texting them all the time. Like, just pick up the phone and talk to people, because it's so dysregulating when we're on our phones all the time, just constantly switching between task to texting someone to another task. Release control, just exist, remain unbothered and untriggered by detaching yourself. Learn that everyone else is in their own story, their own life, their own bubble. You're in your bubble. Focus on your bubble. And then number 3, open-hearted and accepting of everyone. No one is wrong. No one is right. They're always acting out of their own experiences, which have caused their own beliefs and their own opinions. You cannot control them. People might be immediately liking you, or they might immediately dislike you. You cannot control that. Don't get interfering with other people's lessons and other people's lives like that. Number 4 is going to be to protect your energy always. Put your energy on in the morning. Give yourself the energy that you want to be. Give yourself the affirmations that you want to be. Give yourself the time and the love that you want to receive from the world, and the world will mirror that back to you. So I hope you liked that video. I'll see you in another one. Goodbye.